So Cancer, your energy came out as the Princess of Coins, and in, like a normal tarot deck, this would be the Page of Pentacles. And what I got with this, and we'll get some clarification with a different deck, was that you're working on nurturing something. You're working on something, and it's kind of consuming you. So where are you in this relationship? I don't know that your head is in the relationship. Again, this is just based off of one card. Excuse me. So we'll take a look and see what else we can get. But the first hit I got here was, I don't know that your heart is fully in. Like you're focused on something. You're focused on something, and I don't know what it is yet, right? But you're definitely focused on something. My instinct is that it's not necessarily this relationship, but we'll see. The relationship of the person, the current energy of the person that you're thinking about in this relationship came up as the, what do they call this? The Ace of Arrows. And arrows in this deck are the swords. So this is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So this is the current energy that they're in. And what I'm getting here is that they've either pulled away. Worst case scenario, they're not telling you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. They might be keeping stuff from you. Communication challenges here, right? They may have withdrawn, right? They may have withdrawn. They're not communicating with you the way they used to. In some cases, they may be, not telling the whole truth. Those types of things. So the energy that they're in, you two are in very different energies right now. So, and after we get the lay of the land, we'll use a different deck to kind of get some additional details. But I also pulled one for the overall energy of the relationship. And this came out as Temptation in this deck. It's called Temptation. In a normal tarot deck, it's the Devil. So if this card is representative of the current energies of the relationship, then you guys have slipped into some kind of rut, best case scenario, some kind of rut. You guys are clearly kind of in different spaces. So maybe you're kind of ships that pass in the night and you're doing different things. All right. This is like I'm getting like really stuck. This is like a very stuck energy. And like hard to find your way out of type of thing. So that's kind of like the overall energy of as the relationship is coming in. And again, before I say too much with just one card, bear with me, because I do want to get kind of a lay of the land. The next card that I pulled that I haven't looked at yet was representing what you, Cancer, want from the relationship. And you came up as the Queen of Cups in reverse. What I'm hoping you don't want what this card represents in reverse, right? Because that's why I had to hesitate for a second. I'm like, Cancer doesn't want that. This is your card, but this is your court card, by the way. The Queen of Cups in reverse is like drama queen, central, not in control of her emotions, kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs type of, erratic behavior and that kind of thing could be Queen of Cups in reverse. So I'm going to go with that's not what you want, right? Because this is what you want from the relationship. So I'm guessing that historically in the past, this behavior has been there, whether it was coming from you or just like maybe sometimes when we hook in with people, they bring out our ugly. It's happened to me. It's probably happened to most of us, right? And, you know, so you may have found yourself in this type of energy tied to this relationship, and you don't want, this is not what you want, right? It's not what you want. You want to be the stable, emotionally stable, loving, caring Queen of Cups, right? So I think what you want from this relationship is to purge yourself of this. The other thing that I could get here with the Queen of Cups in reverse is somebody who's had to shut her heart chakra down. You know, someone who's had to shut that loving, nurturing heart energy, shut it down. You know, this is a shut down, emotionally shut down person. So if this is not outwardly like erratic and drama queen, another variation of Queen of Cups in reverse is like someone who's not connected emotionally. This is a shut down human being, which is, you know, it's obviously sad for a lot of reasons. All right, and so the card that I pulled, haven't looked at it yet, for what the person that you're thinking about wants for the relationship. And they got Temperance, which is interesting. Oh boy, I'm getting a lot of things from this. It's almost like they don't want to let you go, even though they know that it would be best for you if they did. That's what I'm getting. That's the effed up message. It's a little effed up to me. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but that's kind of what I'm getting from this. It's like they want to keep the dance going. They want to keep the facade. They want to keep the whatever label you want to put on it. But it's like one of you isn't into the relationship. And I'm Cancer, I'm guessing it's you, but you know, it could be the other way around. It could be this other, but as a matter of fact, well, actually it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with the cards that are on the table right now. It could go either way. So one of you doesn't really want this, but you're also bound together for some reason, right? You're bound, and so you're gonna, even though you know that there's better for you out there, or you imagine that there's better for you out there, it's like you're stuck, like you're more freaking stuck, you know? So what do they want from the relationship? Maybe they want to keep things the way that they are, even though they know it's not healthy. You know, maybe they're like an eternal optimist, because that's kind of what the story is in this card, is, you know, this figure was given Aphrodite. She didn't want to be there. She wanted to be Aphrodite and give her love to freely and do what she wanted to do. And but she was given to him. And so, you know, he tried to get her to love him. She never really did, because she thought she was better. She could do better, and she wanted better, and she wanted different, but they were like bound together by the gods, so to speak, right? So there's something binding. So I'm definitely going to get clarification on this one. This is probably one of the first ones I'm going to get clarification on, okay? The last one that I pulled to just kind of get this lay of the land is what the obstacle or the challenge was in the relationship. And so this, you got the World. And in this deck, it's called Triumph. And what I'm getting from this card for you, Cancer, is that you may very well have really helped. You've done a lot, I think, to help this person and help this relationship. But there's something that's not allowing closure. Like it almost kind of feels like there needs to be some kind of closure here, but like neither of you want, it's like neither of you are willing to do it, you know? It's like neither of you are willing to let go. So the challenge or the obstacle, you know, sometimes our own, like, we get into such a rut, we get into such a routine, we get so comfortable, sometimes we get complacent, and we just get stuck, you know? Where there should be, I'm getting like where there should be a new start, a fresh start, a new beginning, it's not happening. Okay, lots of things to dig into here. So I think first, gosh, I don't even know where to start. I want to dig into all of it. All right, Cancer, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start with the energy that you came out as, and you came out as the, essentially the Page of Pentacles for the energy that you're currently in the relationship. So for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, let me get clarification on this Princess of Coins for this relationship, the current energy that Cancer is in relative to this relationship. What clarification can we give to Cancer? And I will show you these, the Four of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Three of Wands. Wow. Look at these. You know, Cancer, I think secretly, the thing that you're working on, the thing that I said, like I kind of feel like you're working on something, like your attention is really not necessarily, if it is in this relationship, it is, but it isn't type of thing. Because I think what you're really thinking about is where you find joy and where you find pleasure is in thinking about your social life and your just, you know, how you can connect with people. And that's something that you're putting effort and time into. I think secretly you may want this, right? You may want to really build something beautiful and stable with somebody in a relationship. So I think you're thinking about this, right? So your current energy, if you're not getting this in the relationship, there's something off balance here. So I you know, maybe once upon a time you were getting this, like you guys were working towards the same goal. But there's stuff standing in the way now, you know? So now it's become you guys aren't on the same page anymore. So now there's conflicting interests and possibly squabbling and possibly arguing, you know, depending on depending on your particular situation, you know, but this is challenges. And so we've got these challenges in between this kind of connection card, like connecting with people, like really emotionally and deeply, you know, like even spiritual connection, and really working with other people to kind of build. This is the 3, right? This is like putting our dreams into reality. You know, like this is manifestation type of energy, right? Like you want to create something, and it may literally be a child, but it could also be that you want to put the energy out there to bring in a more stable relationship for yourself, you know, something that's going to allow you to be the Queen of Cups, upright, which is your birthright. You're a Cancer, right? So like the sensitivity and the loving and the big heartedness that Cancers have, right? You've come up this way relative to this relationship, you know? And so I think all of these things that we see here in these cards are kind of being suppressed in some way because Cancer, your heart is shut down, you know? You're not fully able to connect with your partner emotionally, possibly, you know, I'm guessing at this point, you're not able to connect emotionally with this person that you're thinking about. I'm not really getting work here. I'm getting this is probably a personal relationship of some variety. And so it's keeping you from, you know, it's keeping you from having these things that you want. You know, it's like this is your challenge. The fact that you keep your heart on lockdown, right? You're not able to fully connect and make the relationships that you want to make. That's tough, right? But I feel like you're still in this relationship though. You're still here. You know, even though you're not able to have these things that you want, you know, even though the relationship is very probably in a very stuck state, you know, even though communication from the person is probably lacking and or, you know, depending on which of you could, you know, dishonesty, you know, could be any spectrum of communication challenges here. All right. Next, I want to take a look at. I want to get some clarification on this. This was the energy for the obstacle or the challenge that the relationship is in. Like, what was the challenge? What's the challenge or the obstacle in this relationship? Okay, so let's take a look at that. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what is this challenge, this obstacle, this blockage? Clarification on this World card, please, for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The Knight of Cups. All of you air signs, all of you water signs. I'm doing the water signs today, and there's repeat themes here. You guys are getting some repeat cards, all 3 of you. 5 of Swords. And I shuffle the damn cards, you see how I pull. I don't like 10 of Pentacles. Okay, Cancer, please watch the Scorpio reading too, because there may be messages in there for you too, okay? All right, so this was clarification for the obstacles and the challenges that this relationship is facing. I think this is the Ten of Pentacles. I think what's keeping you here, Cancer, is this stability. I think you're getting some kind of stability from this relationship, and that's why you're putting up with this, which is the Knight of Cups and the Five of Swords. So for me, the Knight of Cups is often, best case scenario, there was good intentions here at one point. There were good intentions, and maybe some things were promised and some things were either asked for, agreed to, whatever, as part of the relationship, kind of when the relationship started, and those things did not develop. And so someone is feeling like they got the short end of the stick, like they didn't get what they bargained for, didn't get what they wanted. And for some of you, this could very well have ended. The Five of Swords could very well have been a final blow up, a final argument, like the straw that broke the camel's back type of energy with the Five of Swords. So for some of you that have managed to escape this energy, this kind of stuckness of the devil energy, it probably happened in a really ugly way. And it was probably pretty damn painful. Yeah, for those of you that are still in a relationship, I feel like if you're not in this energy where you guys are fighting and arguing a lot already, that you're doing the way that this is not happening. So the potential for this exists. I'm feeling like big time in this relationship. So if it's not happening, it's not happening because of the suppression, because of the suppressed communication and the suppressed emotions that we are seeing in the Queen of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse. Because I think if you guys do end up communicating, maybe the reason you guys aren't really communicating is because you're afraid if you do, shit is going to hit the fan. It's going to be ugly, and it may just end it all, right? And that's the end of that. And that's going to be the end of that. It's going to be the end of the, the stability. So it's like you guys are just kind of riding on this, man, this is stuck. I'm sorry, Cancer, this is tough. This is really tough energy.